We want to be able to grow the United States Army. We have to be ingrained with society. Whatever society is doing, that's what the Army is going to be doing.
So you get a virtual experience of what it might be like to do some soldier tasks.
So why do you think there's so much controversy around this place?
I think they're terrified that it'll work.
Well, apparently, as reported by Philly.com in 2010, the center did work. An Army recruitment spokesman said that the center did what it was supposed to do and that it was a success. More than 40,000 people visited the center and at least 236 were recruited through it. In spite of this, the spokesman says that it was not a recruiting station. If kids showed up, brought their parents in and played video games, it still exposed them to the Army. Now, when he says kids, how young does he mean?
How old are you?
14. You have to be 13 to get in here.
Yeah.
I'll put you on either the games or I'll go on the simulator for a little bit.
They like video games, and that's why we're here.
It really shows you what war's about,
what
what war's like though.
Most
Like
of them.
how your life's on the line when you're in the middle of it.
This is what kids are doing.
You want to talk horseshoe theory? Here we go. I've talked plenty about sort of super progressive hippies using video games because kids are interested in them and they want to use them to, you know, make boys less violent and things like that. Here we have the Army saying, hey, look, kids are into video games now, we need to get in on that. But, as you'd probably imagine, the Army is much, much better at doing it. When this center in Philadelphia first opened in 2008 and before it closed in 2010, the idea was more or less just to get kids there with the video games and expose them to Army recruiters. The sort of hippie SJWE people, they think you can just put a game out there and the ideas will seep into kids. However, having said that, the video I put out 2 days ago about a game called In Tune shows that they're starting to get it. These typically anti-military people are following in the steps of military research, as we can see here. All these games that they're saying, you might not consider this a game, and then it's all about touching each other and talking to one another and following their particular rules for how you should engage in your personal relationships, is just because people are interested in video games. It's not actually about gaming. It is bait to get you to do what they want. The reason people are so interested in not games is because it's not games that will have an effect on you. It is things that are not creativity. In the case of Army experience centers, it is the fucking recruiters everywhere that will have an influence on you. The gaming just puts you in that situation. When I talked about the games to curb male violence, it's not about the game. It's about having your parent enforce that on you. The game bit is a bait to try to get kids more excited to do the other bit. Anyway, back to the main subject of this video. If anyone wants to get young people interested in what they're doing, they will always use what's hot. In 2001, a Simpsons episode aired called New Kids on the Blech, and even then they were taking the piss out of how the military tries to attract children. They had a song with a subliminal message in it. Everyone is always going to try to do this kind of thing. What I just don't like is being slippery about it, particularly anything related to government. I think they should be absolutely straight up. Going out of your way to say, oh, this wasn't a recruiting station. Fuck off, mate. Bullshit.
To do some soldier tasks.
Soldier tasks. Nah, they're playing games where they gun people down because that is fun to do in a video game. It's like the Army is pretending they're not trying to target people as young as possible to get them to want to join. It's just so citizens feel more connected to their army and understand it. No one is falling for that line. Now, like I said, this center closed in 2010, but so many other people are following what they did. Whether they directly copied or not, they are still taking the same idea. They are using the idea of a video game and kids' enthusiasm for games to try to push things onto them. Note, I'm not saying this is a power the video game has. It's more like they've got a rat trap and then the video game is the cheese. I found this kind of strategy really cool in The Last Starfighter. Its real-life application, though, is a bit too manipulative and slippery for my taste. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.